Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 19 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. Today's episode is powered by my sponsor, Elgato Gaming, and the HD60S capture card, the key lights and the green screen that I'm using in today's episode. If you are an aspiring content creator looking to up the quality of your content creation game, check no further than down below in the description to my Elgato profile page, where you can find more information on these awesome products that I highly recommend. So let's get on into today's episode then, where we start off by buying some silver players. Some silver Eredivisie players, to be exact, because we want to actually get a better version of this guy, St Juste. He actually kind of looks mad, the version that EA given us in the pink Futties version. So that's exactly what I wanted to head towards today. And it would take winning 4 online single matches with a silver Dutch squad, or a silver Eredivisie squad, should I say. And you can bring on substitutes. So if you haven't done it yet, I mean, that makes it a little bit easier. Everyone does it, I guess, pretty much. So you are going to be coming up against Eusebio, Mbappe, Richarlison, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho. Like, people just bring on the 3 crazy subs that they have, or their 3 best players that are in their club. And for me, I decided today that we would be using Eusebio, we would be using Lozano, and we will be using Richarlison. I think they're 3 very potent players that can deal a lot of damage, and like someone like Lozano is just going to run rings around those silver defenders. Eusebio will have aerial ability as well as 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot. Same for Richarlison, and he's actually kind of mad as well. So yeah, there's that. So the squad is ready, and it is time to go on into some online single matches. First opponent come up against, you're pretty much only going to face people in online singles that are doing the challenge. And plus, you can also see like what star rating and stuff they are. So if someone's like a 94 rated squad, then just maybe don't play that game, because it's just going to be someone trying to absolutely up their win ratio against some silver teams. So we go 1-0 up. Ball through to Richarlison. He sticks it in the back of the net like he does, because he's great. But hey, we are only up against the silver goalkeeper, so not too much praise. But Eusebio makes it 2-0, and I figured it would be the case that he would quit at either 1 or 2-0. That just tends to be what people do. It's the quickest way for both parties to just get through it. So we get 1 out of 4 within 30 FIFA minutes of gameplay, which is brilliant. Now, guys, if you do enjoy today's episode, do me a massive favor, hit that thumbs up button. Like I said, the support this week has been out of this world for July and now August. So yeah, thank you. And if you can keep showing that support even into the latter stages of the FIFA 19 cycle, I'd really appreciate it. 1,000+ likes would be outstanding. Go for it, guys. So I go 1-0 down in this game. He's got a red 95 Timo Werner, so he's got a red Tots Werner, which is quite nice. Quite jealous of that. But I do run down the other end and get my equaliser with Eusebio. However, his red Salah, I'm pretty sure it was a red 97 Salah, knocks it back into that Werner, who Werner the Burner is pretty good at sticking it in the back of the net, isn't he, really? And then when he goes and gets his hat-trick goal right there, you know what? I decide that my rule is also that if I go 2 goals down, then I will quit and move on to the next match. You guys know that by now, those of you that watch the content. Next match then, another silver Eredivisie side. That this guy's gone with a 4-2-3-1. I guess maybe he's just going to play with that in-game. I set my custom tactics up and just built like a 4-4-2, I think it was. But we do break through after 20 or so minutes and score with the Brazilian from Everton, that is Richarlison. A nice strong move from him versus that defender, and an easy finish. And then Lozano literally doubles the lead a couple of minutes later. We just took the ball, ran rings around him, and got through, scored the goal, and that was that. A nice little 20-minute rage quit, and that can make us up to 2 out of 4. On to the next one then. This is not going to take long, really, is it? Like, especially if you've got 3 pretty good subs, then you're going to be all right. I would probably say that I would prefer it. I don't know, actually. I think it obviously makes it easier when you have the substitutes. But then again, most of the time you are playing against players with crazy subs as well. I guess it would be a little bit... It would probably be a little bit better if we were forced to just use the silvers or whatever, but it would take probably a little bit longer, because obviously right now what I'm doing is kind of abusing the fact that I can bring on 3 crazy substitutes, when the original goal of this objective was pretty much for you to use 11 silver Eredivisie players. So yeah, you kind of break the rules somewhat on a technicality, but if it's there to do so. I mean, we've seen weeks where they have forced us to use exact requirements, so obviously they're open to it and then allowing us to do so, which maybe they could close them off a little bit more next year. I don't know. What do you guys think, actually? I'd be curious to know. Obviously, it makes it easier. If you're a half-decent player as well, then I found this to be fairly simple, and I'm like an average player at best. So we got 3 out of 4, and we move on into what is hopefully going to be our last game. Richarlison just... well, I mean, he brought on a Van Dijk and an Alisson. That's not a great... I wouldn't recommend that. If you're going to bring 3 players on, just bring the attackers on. That's what you want to do. You want to bombard the attack and get the goals, as opposed to stopping your opponent from scoring. You just need to outscore them. Get your goals quickly, and people will rage quit. As you can see here, 13 minutes on the clock, 2-0, and I don't even know if we've played a total of 90 minutes there. On all 5 of those games that we played. We probably just about have played 1 full 90 minutes worth of FIFA. Really did not take long to get Jeremiah St Juste. And I think this guy's going to make my starting 11, you know, because he looks very, very good. He's got the same pace as what Tots Militao has, and he's 6'1" as well. And so the pace is brilliant. If we just stick a sentinel on him, he's going to have some very, very good defensive and physicality stats. So I think he could be a nice usable card. What it is going to mean is that we're going to need to pick up a right back that I didn't absolutely love, but I'm willing to give him a second shot. That is going to be Tots Denzel Dumfries. I mean, we're going to sell the silver version right here. He did quite well for me, to be fair. I sold a few things for a little bit over what I paid for them. I sold a few things for the same amount, and then I sold a couple of things for a little bit less. Overall, I lost about 3k after tax. So 3k for this 89 rated St Juste is just, it's a bargain. So Jeremiah comes into my squad, and I mean, Kimpembe is great, and he probably would still be my number 1 choice, but I'm definitely up for and willing to give this St Juste a try, because I think a lot of you probably would love me to still have Eder Militao, and like, this is kind of a similar version of a centre-back with 94 pace, 6'1", maybe not the most stocky body type, but we'll give Dumfries another go. He's gone down like 50k since we last sold him, so I'm sure I'll lose a little bit of money on this, but hey, we've still got over 1 million coins. So Lala resorts to the bench for now, and this is how the squad would line up. Actually, I need to flip Eusebio and Goretzka, because Goretzka is going to be the one player that's in this squad of chemistry. I need to go out and buy a striker to centre forward because I didn't have any of them, and we can start moving Goretzka back to that centre mid position, as you can see right here, which is a fairly costly thing to do nowadays, especially with the CF to cam. And then if I end up changing the squad back to the Lala one and whatnot, I'm going to have to move him back up again, I think. So that could be a costly decision depending on if we really like St Juste and Dumfries or not. But you can see how the squad's going to line up on the right hand side of that screen right there, you know, just above my head. It's going to line up in the 4-2-3-1 as you would expect, with the players that you would expect in the places like, you know, Richarlison at striker and Pepe out wide with Eusebio as a central cam. And then, well, the bench is looking very stacked. It is, and we do still have we still nearly have 1.1 million coins. So very excited to see what we can do with them, or if there's any option or any players that are going to come down in price enough for me to actually spend that. If not, I don't know what we'll really do. We are really coming towards the end of the FIFA cycle. So before Weekend League is upon us, I figured, hey, I'll just go into a couple of rivals matches just to test out St Juste and Dumfries and actually Mendy as well, because I've not tried him out yet. So I've got 3 out of 4 players in my defence that are actually different to what I'm kind of used to, even though I used Dumfries a little bit recently. So the main goal was to just play FIFA, try and get a feel for the players. Does Mendy feel agile enough at the back? You know, can he dribble with the ball? Is he quick enough and stuff? Is St Juste crazy? Is he too attacking? Is he too thin of a body type? Does he not really make any challenges? And then Dumfries, is he too clunky? Does he work out for us? And I put the chemistry styles that I thought would apply best to those players. So I put a Guardian on Dumfries because he's already got crazy physicality. So I just needed the dribbling and the defending to try and get nearly maxed out. St Juste, I went for a full-on Sentinel because he's already obviously got enough pace. I just want to max the defensive stats and physical stats. And then Anchor on Mendy because, well, he could do with a little bit of a pace boost. I think it's his acceleration, which is not quite as good as his sprint speed. So we wanted to boost that wherever we possibly could, and then as well as the defending and physical stats, let's just get them up a little bit as well. So yeah, I feel like the defense was, and actually, like, I'm conceding some goals here. I did gift a couple of goals to people that were obviously trying the challenge. I currently have both weekly objective players in my squad, so I would probably come across as a bit of a weird, arrogant person if I didn't let my opponents get the assist that they need with the Premier League player or whatnot. But I wasn't just going to completely give it to them. I know that I had to almost like surrender a couple of goals in order for people to get theirs, and I actually wanted to test my defense out. So just gifting people goals all the time and not making tackles was not what I wanted to do. I needed to try and see how good my centre backs were. So I mean, eventually we ended up drawing that game 4-4, which that's fine. Don't mind it whatsoever. And actually the team felt great, and I was bossing it at the start of the match, so I'm pretty sure if I'd have kept up that level of mentality and stuff in game, I could have ended up battering the guy. A nice little skill combination there from Ronaldinho. Actually earns himself a penalty after Kyle Walker just wipes him out, and Richarlison, I don't know why he's the penalty taker. Perhaps he's the new default one that the game has picked for me to be using. But he scores again right here. A little La Croqueta and then a green driven shot. What I noticed about him is that for some reason his shots seem to be very, very powerful, which is good for the low drivens. However, it's 78 minutes in. I let him get his Luca Digne assist so that he could get his Premier League one towards Mendy. Because hey, why not, right? I give him a tough game. I did kind of batter him, but we'll at least let him get his challenge done, as long as it doesn't result in me then losing. So yeah, after a couple games, a very positive start for the defence. Benjamin Mendy's nice and tall, does win stuff in the air. Dumfries actually felt very good, and actually St Juste did as well. I don't care that he's a little bit lower rated than like Kimpembe or Militao or any of the players that we've used recently. I kind of like him. I think he's going to do a fairly decent job for us. Yeah, there's an opportunity, or there's potential that I might just switch it back and put end up just putting Kimpembe back or something like that. I don't know at the moment. I think as things stand, I probably could actually just switch out Dumfries and St Juste for Lala and Kimpembe in this formation, and I would stay the same chemistry, right? Or no, yeah, I would, yeah, because Kimpembe would get a strong link to Vieira. However, no, that would work. That would work because Van Dijk would have the strong link from Alisson as well. So we're sitting pretty at the moment. Things are quite good. We've got a couple of options for us in the defense should we need it. Guys, do me a massive favor, hit that thumbs up button on today's video. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. What else you got to do? Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Insta. Those links are down below. Make sure you have a lovely day, and I'll catch you next time, people. Peace.